there's usually this myth about sickle cell disease generally about let's say a parent, a father is AS and a mother is AS, and then they say it is only the last child that will be SS. Is that true?
To understand the 25% is if you give birth to 100 children, it means 25 will have the sickle cell trait. There's this family I attended to while I was working at a rural area. They had 5 children, 4 of them had sickle cell.
Hello guys, welcome to Med Corner, a captivating podcast dedicated to exploring the vast and ever-evolving world of medicine and health. I'm Dr. Yahweh, and I'm here with my very good friend, Dr. Oxby. And today we will be discussing a very important topic, from love to pain, a sickle cell tale. This is a very sad one, but it's important that we put out information about this because it's some people's reality. Some people wake up every day to go through these pains. This is one. It is one story that love can quickly change to sorrows, can quickly change to pain, can quickly change to tears and a lot of that. So it's very important. Dr. Oxby, why is this important? What is sickle cell tale? What's the sickle cell tale generally?
Sickle cell disease is an inherited genetic condition where the red blood cell, instead of being round and flexible, they become stiff and crescent shaped. Now, this abnormal red blood cell, when going through the body, gets stuck and then blocks different parts of the body and can affect any organ in the body.
All right. So there's usually this myth about sickle cell disease generally about let's say a parent, a father is AS and a mother is AS, and then they say it is only the last child that will be SS. Is that true? They say maybe if that family is going to give birth to 4 children, then only one of them will come down with the SS genotype. Is that true?
Usually there's this when you write the AA or when you write AS and AS, when you do all this crossing, you'd see that it's the last figure that has the SS. So I think that's where people get that notion from. But for the fact that it's the last, it just means that there's a 25% chance of one of the children being that. Now the 25% doesn't have, it doesn't follow a chronological pattern. It can be, the first can be the 25%, the second one can be the 25%.
Yeah, so, and it also does not mean that if, for example, the first child comes out to be SS, then the family will now say
there will be no SS.
Other. So that 25% it can happen with every childbirth. So you can have, I've seen families that they have 4 children, and each and every one of the 4 children have the sickle cell anemia or the sickle cell trait. So that's a myth, and please, people should not carry that. People should not fly with that.
Another way to understand the 25% is if you give birth to 100 children, it means 25 will have the sickle cell trait. As simple as that.
Exactly. So I'm also aware that there are a lot of stigma around this and all of that. So do you want to shed any light?
Yeah, on that? A lot of people feel sickle cell is communicable. So, you'd see people distancing themselves from people that have sickle cell. Some people feel that these people have been cursed by God. But these people they're humans too. And it's not like it was their choice to pick the particular cell that they want.
Exactly. So another discrimination I've seen, especially for the females, is how they find it very difficult to this is from my experience now. No, I'm not quoting any research or any statistic. They find it very difficult, for some of my friends who are females, they find it very difficult to having a relationship. And that's because the males outside there, the men, and then the guys outside there just look at them in a kind of way, and they're like, I cannot settle down with them. I cannot start up a relationship. I cannot start up a family with them. But if there are other reasons, why you don't want to be in a relationship with someone who has that, fine, that's your choice. But we're saying that a reason why it should not be that because they are sickle cell carriers or they have sickle cell anemia, then that should be a reason. That's not proper. And in places where things work, I think that's criminal.
And I'm sure people have different reasons. So please let us know your reasons in the comments. We'd like to know.
Exactly. So, we know that there's a harsh medical reality about this harsh medical reality on people living with sickle cell anemia. Generally, there are a lot of complications. They sometimes may not live completely normal lives, especially if those triggers are around the corner. When it's extremely cold, they cannot cope with the weather. They develop some of those crises that present as bone pains, they present as abdominal pains, present in different ways. So extreme weather conditions. There are people that even emotional triggers, heartbreaks, and all of that.
Even the simple malaria that people take very lightly.
Yes, by the time it affects them, it can take them down very, very well. And especially the impact on the family generally is usually very bad. You see, by the time one is being admitted in the hospital, you see how everybody comes rally around, and then they are just trying to support that person morally, physically, and in different ways. I've seen a mother who was in the hospital, and she was there to take care of 3 of her children because they were affected by the disease. So it's really not easy. So we're sharing all of this because it should be love and light alone that should be spread to these people, and whatever ways we can support them, that they should be supported in all of this.
They definitely need our support, like both emotionally, financially. There's this family I attended to while I was working at a rural area. They had 5 children. 4 of them had sickle cell. Now, when one of them came to the hospital with one of the crises, they couldn't afford to pay for PCV, which is PCV is the packed cell volume. Like, we use it to know the level of the blood. It tells you the quantity of red blood cells that is available in blood, that is present in blood.
And also for context, it should be one of the cheapest.
It was like 500 naira.
And they couldn't
afford it.
So it just goes as far as to show how this can drain an entire family financially, and it's really a very terrible thing to behold. So we're just going as far as talking about this so that people just know about the impact. We'll talk about the prevention and how people can also manage it. Prevention last, and then how people living with this can manage it generally. So I think this now leads us to the triggers, the triggers and things that precipitate crisis. So generally, I know that extreme of temperatures would usually precipitate this crisis. Too cold, too hot. So whenever it's too cold, people who are living with this should always try to cover themselves up, wear cold, warm clothing. I mean, they should wear cardigans, stockings, hand gloves, and just to keep themselves warm. And then if it's too hot, also they should expose themselves. Take a lot of water, which is also
as dehydration triggers it too.
Exactly. And something I got to also find out is that emotional stress also triggers this heartbreaks. So you see some of them heartbroken or even stress from school.
I mean, heartbreak causes a lot of things, man.
It does. So also how do you have now? I think we should talk about that's for those who maybe are not yet in this situation, how to prevent something like this.
The prevention would be, discussing with your spouse or the person that you intend to get married to. Knowing each other's genotype would help you make informed decisions, because it's not a blanket statement that if this person is a carrier or if this person has sickle cell and this other person has sickle cell, it's not a blanket statement that you guys should not get married. Because there are modalities and things that people with sickle cell could do, even though they are very, very expensive. But I mean, those modalities are there.
I think, but first of all, we always think that AS and AS should not marry.
Yeah.
SS and SS should not marry.
Yeah.
AS and SS should not marry. In fact, if there is an S in your genotype, what you should be looking for is someone who
Without
has
S.
someone without S. That's someone with AA.
Yeah.
And sorry, this is on a lighter note, but I saw something like this, I think online, and then they're like, if you're rich and if you're AA, you still can. Sorry, someone that is poor and someone that is AA should not still marry. But I mean that's by the way. So generally, if there's S in the genotype, you should not marry, and that's what was being advocated for very, very well. However, with the a lot of recent medical development, recent improvement, recent technology coming on, if you feel that you still want to go ahead with, if you feel that you still want to go ahead, then there are options. There are options. There are a lot of genetic counseling that go on these days, gene selection, where the man produces his or her sperms, the egg is taken from the woman, and then they select the ones. This is if both of them are
carriers.
Both of them are carriers, AS. Then they select just the A part of it from the man and then from the woman, and then they can fertilize the egg and the child can come out okay. But you see how I'm explaining it, it's not done.
If you have the money, don't be saying I will have the money and go and be giving birth and saying I'll have the money.
It's very expensive. So you can ask, check, just go to your doctor and then he can tell you so much about it. But it's really, really expensive that you would prefer that you just get someone who you're compatible with. Apart from that, the gene selection, for people who already even, but even if I go to that, some people can still go ahead. That this is AS. Now they go ahead, they get pregnant. And then the baby is being the genotype of the baby is tested while the baby is in the womb. And if the baby is not having like an AA, then they go ahead but this is very what's the word?
Ethical.
This is a lot of ethical consideration. I don't even know. And in Nigeria, I don't think that is even legal. But in other parts of the world, by the time they test and the baby is AS, they do what they call like a therapeutic abortion, and then that's, but as I said, a lot of not just ethical, religious sentiments to this. But for people who already are living with I
mean, there's a cure too. The bone marrow transplant.
Don't call it a cure. But there's something
it's very expensive. It costs about $150K to $400K. I mean,
because when you say 100K naira, I mean, by the time you do the conversion, that is
almost 200 million.
That's a whole lot of money. But for those who it has worked for, I know somebody who did it. Went outside the country, the US and I think in India and some very advanced country that is being done and it works, but it costs a lot. Then the genotype is being converted to AA or even AS. So, but it's very expensive, as we said. So prevention, and then taking caution is usually better. So before we round up Oxford, I've also heard that people who live with this cannot go past the age, is it 25 they said, or 20, that they'll usually die before that. Is this true?
I mean, it all has to do with management, how you take care of yourself, how often you see your doctor, and then how adherent you are to instructions and to your medications.
I've seen someone he should be close to 50 years now, and he has lived with it. There was no conversion that was done. He has lived with it and has been living very healthy with it. So there's really no fast rule about this. As long as people can avoid the crisis, take care of themselves, take their routine medications, stay hydrated, stay warm, they can live completely, nearly normal lives.
I wish our government would be able to make healthcare more accessible for people living with sickle cell. I mean, give them drugs at discounted prices or even free. So, because there are lots of people with this living in Nigeria, 1 in 4 people, and I mean, every year there are like 150,000 to 300,000 births of people with sickle cell every year. So it poses a huge burden.
This is really sad because Nigeria accounts for, I think, a very large amount of people who are currently living in the world with sickle cell anemia, sickle cell disease. So, if you're a government official and your policymaker, please, it would be good to look into this and then see how we can make health access more accessible or more reachable to these ones. So, Dr. Bog, your concluding statement. So.
You are concluding today.
Because I'm always pushing you to
Exactly.
to conclude. Anyways, what hits me the most is people who discriminate against people living with this. Please don't do that. They didn't choose that life for themselves. It's really bad that you deny opportunities to someone living with someone living with a sickle cell disease or someone who has sickle cell anemia. You deny opportunities to this person, or you feel this person is not capable to do that, or you don't even want to get married or go into a relationship with them. It's not good. I won't tell you what to do, but just reassess yourself and let's spread love and light alone.
Spread love and light.
All right, guys, drop your comments, drop your questions, and we will be here to attend to them next time. Until then, take care.
Thank you very much. See you in the next episode.